Hi, I'm Katrina Hammervoll, and I'm a Group Program Manager for the Microsoft Search experience based out of Oslo, Norway.
And I'm Robin Thomas. I'm a Group Program Manager with Microsoft Search. I lead a team of folks working on the search stack that powers many of the client and intelligent features you're about to see.
Robin and I are excited to be sharing with you what's new and what's next for Microsoft Search. Since Microsoft Search went to general availability earlier this year, we've had a lot of interest and questions from customers who are eager to learn how Microsoft Search can help their people. Now more than ever, people have a need to stay connected and on top of what's going on, without the luxury of being physically together. Microsoft Search is an essential tool that helps you connect to people and to find the right resources and the answers you need to do your work. In the next 30 minutes, Robin and I will walk you through how Microsoft Search lives up to its vision of connecting you with knowledge and expertise. The best way of showing you what Microsoft Search is and what it can do is by giving you a tour of Microsoft Search in quick bite sizes. There are many digital skilling sessions in the Microsoft Search YouTube channel to learn more about what you'll see here, and we'll share those links to you throughout the session. You're going to see us showcase many different experiences. Microsoft Search is really about bringing the best of search across the Microsoft 365 suite. The features you're seeing are already available or coming soon across our key productivity experiences. Behind it all is the Microsoft Search technology platform, which is what provides relevant and intelligent search for the conversations in Outlook, the chats in Teams, the sites in SharePoint, the files in OneDrive, and so on, as well as extracting knowledge from that content, such as topics and acronyms. I'll kick this off by showing you how Microsoft Search helps you be more productive, take action, and save you time by helping you search where you are. Let's start in Teams. Teams has seen tremendous growth this year and has become an essential tool that allows people across many different industries to do their work. The new immersive search experience in Teams will deliver on the vision to help you achieve more and be more productive by helping you navigate, find, and research content faster and more reliably. With the power of Microsoft Search behind it, you can do more in Team Search than ever before. Let's take a closer look. As an avid Teams user, Megan is a member of many different teams and uses chat to connect with people and stay on top of her work. However, information is spread across many different teams and channels, and she can't always remember where to look for stuff. Right now, she's working on the pricing strategy for the new Mark 8 product. She searches for pricing, hits enter, and she's presented with a new immersive search experience in Teams where she can quickly find the message she's looking for. Compared with the existing search experience in Teams in a panel on the left, this new experience gives much better context to the user by displaying the group chat name or team name, and the experience is really optimized for recognition and familiarity for Teams users. Inside each of the tabs, it's easy to filter down by team or channel or person, and in the files type, you can also filter down files by file type. With a new search experience in Teams, you can also get answers to common questions, like how to book time off. Like many other companies, Megan's company has a company-wide chat. These chats tend to get very long and can be difficult to get back to stuff. Using Control F, she can quickly get back to the document on the org update that was shared some time back, right here in the context of the chat. Now let's take a look at Microsoft Search in Outlook. Search is such an integral part of Outlook, and we know you need it to be accurate and fast. That is why Outlook is coming together on one search backend and unified experience, all powered by Microsoft Search. Let's take a look at some of the helpful capabilities coming to Outlook. As soon as you open Outlook, you'll notice all the helpful suggestions Outlook gives you, like how to formulate better and more precise queries. Basim is looking for a file that Adele sent him, so he types in Adele. As he types, Outlook proactively gives him query suggestions, people suggestions, emails, files, and upcoming meetings, saving him time while he searches. Basim hits enter, like users do from habit. In addition to seeing all the results by date, we're showing Basim the top 3 most relevant results regardless of date, and we also let him pick all emails with attachments or all emails from Adele. Now let's try to do what Outlook suggests and search using natural language. Perfect, now I can see the files right here in the search results. As you can see, there are many paths to successful search in Outlook. Another helpful feature is the new settings search that shows you how to make the most of your Outlook. If you want Outlook to be in dark mode, or you want to set some inbox rules, all you need to do is search, and Outlook takes you straight to the right settings. Office is with you everywhere you go, on the mobile, in the browser, and on your desktop. Microsoft Search has been a part of Office.com for some time already for enterprise users, making it super simple to find apps, get back to files, and access all the knowledge in the enterprise in one place. Now, the familiar Microsoft Search experience has also come to consumer Office.com. On mobile, the Office app lets you find all your files and work in PowerPoint, Word, and Excel without switching apps. When you're on the go, the app also lets you perform common tasks such as scanning QR codes, signing PDFs, or transforming pictures into editable Word and Excel documents. When you're using Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, the familiar Microsoft Search box is at the top of the app, helping you be productive and taking advantage of the knowledge of the organization and the web to help you do your work. Let's take a look at Word and how it helps you stay in the flow. When you start your day in Office.com, it's easy to pick up where you left things. Megan is working on a document on water quality, and Office.com gives Megan many ways to get back to her document so she can resume her work. One of these ways is to use the search box, which is always conveniently located at the top of all the apps in Office 365. One of her tasks is to finish a section on safety. Megan notices that one of her colleagues has added a couple of acronyms. Megan wants to add definitions for these, but she's not 100% sure of the exact wording, so she uses the search box. With Search in Word, Megan is able to tap into content and knowledge from the web, from her organization, and of course also from the document itself. In this case, it looks like the acronym is already defined inside the file, so Megan doesn't have to add a definition. We've also added Microsoft Search to the context menu, so searching is as easy as just clicking on the search term. In this case, the term does not look to be defined inside the document, so Megan decides she wants to add a reference. This is really easy by just inserting a link here directly from the search results. Searching in Word is as easy as searching the web, and Megan did not have to context switch to quickly complete her task. Now let's take a look at some experiences where Microsoft Search gives you the full breadth of enterprise search in your organization. Customers use SharePoint for their intranet portals, where all their organizational news and knowledge is collected in one place. This is also a natural place for people to search across the org and look for answers to common questions, just as OneDrive is the place you can search for any file. Let's take a look at how Search helps you navigate your intranet and your organization. Contoso has created a landing page on their intranet with news and links to important sites. The search box is, of course, also a great way to navigate the intranet. It shows you your most popular sites, even without typing. I'm now on the communication site, which is part of the Contoso Electronics Marketing Hub. You'll notice here that the search box is adapted to where I am and will show me results for just the communication site. I want to learn more about Mark 8, so I type my query in the search box. Oops, no results. Well, I guess I can click on the suggestion. Well, there wasn't that much here after all, so let me expand my query. I can either do that by using this control in the search box, or just by clicking the breadcrumb. So now I'm looking at results from the marketing site. In this view, I see content from across Office 365, like files, sites, and people, as well as reports from Power BI. We're also giving customers the ability to connect third-party content sources, such as ServiceNow, to the Microsoft Search experience. Robin will tell you more about this later in the session. As always, we'll appreciate your feedback. The power of Microsoft Search is that it comes to you where you're already working. You've now seen some examples of Microsoft Search in your favorite apps and how you can search across your whole organization in SharePoint. The same enterprise-wide search experience you saw in SharePoint is also part of Bing, Edge, and Windows. A lot of us spend a fair amount of time looking for resources on the web. With Microsoft Search and Bing, we're making enterprise search as easy as searching the web. As soon as you open the Bing homepage, you can see that Bing helps you be productive at work, as well as keeping you up to date with what's happening in the world. Megan is looking for the latest information on COVID and how it impacts her work plans. She searches for COVID, and in addition to the latest news and statistics, she's able to see that her company's added a new response center for COVID-19. Megan's really happy that she discovered this so easily, and now she can read up on all the best practices for her organization. From the search result page in Bing, you're only one click away from the immersive Microsoft Search experience for all your enterprise knowledge. Here you can find answers, as well as people, sites, conversations, and other content from across Office 365. You'll soon hear more from Robin about the breadth of what enterprise search has to offer. Microsoft Search is also in Edge, in the address bar, as well as in the new tab page. And it's also coming to the Windows search box. Search is getting seriously easy when you don't even need to open an app or go to a web page to find what you need. Let's see how this works. Being more productive at work has also gotten way easier with the new tab page in Edge and the integration of Microsoft Search into both Edge and Windows. Adele is collaborating with Lynn on a document. They use SharePoint as a shared collaboration space. This means that their documents show up on the new tab page in Edge, and Adele can also find documents in her organization by simply typing into the address bar in Edge. Another quick way to get back to stuff is through people in the Windows search box. Adele can quickly type Lynn in the Windows search box and go straight to her latest documents to find the one they were collaborating on.
Thanks, Katrina. So as you can see, Microsoft Search is already available in the apps and experiences that you use today, making it even easier to find what you're looking for without having to change apps and go learn something new. Now let's take a look at some of these intelligent features, how we're bringing them into these experiences, and why we think it's actually helping users find what they're looking for. Within an organization, there's so much data, but finding that data, finding value, intelligence, and knowledge in that data is incredibly hard. Well, Microsoft Search makes it even easier to extract out that knowledge and bring it into these search experiences. Let's look at this across 3 different pivots. First, answers and insights. We know that more data is created than ever before, making it that much harder to find the item you're looking for. And once you found the item, you still have to go figure out what you need to do with that to complete your task or to get the answer you were looking for. As humans, we often organize the world around us through people and our relatedness to those people. So by using people within the work context, we can actually make it easier to find the content you're looking for. Search is about finding that thing, wherever that thing is, breaking all the boundaries about apps and containers, data location and storage. It's really saying to the user that if it's important to you, we'll find it. Answers and insights is really about connecting a user, their query, with the answer they needed, rather than just a blue link. It allows us to extract data and meaning and map it up with the user's intent, making it that much easier to find the answer they're looking for. I'm going to highlight a few of these answers, but it's only a handful of the full set of answers that are available through Microsoft Search. I'm providing deep dive session links, so if you want to go learn about these answers or more, be sure to check those out. Many of you may remember, we launched Project Cortex at Ignite last year. Now we're really excited to show you some of the ways that this is showing up in our product, really making it easier for the user to find what they're looking for. So a quick refresher. Topics are mined out of content, communication, and users within your organization. These then can be adopted and curated, but they start out as machine learned entities, making it easier to bootstrap the initial set of topics that already exist latently within your organization. So here you're seeing 2 different experiences. We're showing Bing here on the left and SharePoint on the right, but it's the same technology, the same intelligence under the cover, connecting the user with the topic. So in this case, the user has typed in Titan, and we get to see this rich created topic card that allows us to understand that topic is a thing within my organization and also start to highlight people who are related to that topic as well as content that might be related to that topic. Everybody loves a good acronym, especially if it shortens up a long-winded phrase. But acronyms can be barriers to communication, making it harder for people who don't know what those acronyms mean to follow along in conversations, to contribute their own ideas, and to share in the exchange and creation of new ideas. Acronyms is a great answer that we're bringing to Microsoft Search and other places. And what this does is it looks at the content within your organization and figures out where there's acronyms with associated definitions that we can match together and then make it easier for users to go look up an acronym in the system. So in this case, you'll see on the left-hand side, we have a Teams mobile experience, and they've searched for what is DNN. Right there at the top, you'll see 2 potential definitions for what DNN stands for. Similarly, on the right-hand side here in SharePoint, they've searched for what is CPC. Now, what we're seeing is 2 interesting things here. On the top, we're actually seeing what we call an authoritative acronym definition. So the admin has gone in and said, across the company, this is the best definition for this acronym. So this works great when there's acronyms that are really used almost universally within a company, and it really allows an IT admin to clarify this is what this means. The second definition in both these examples is one of those mined acronyms. So maybe it's an emerging acronym, which hasn't picked up critical mass within your organization yet, but we can actually jumpstart making that acronym available for anybody who's searching for it. And you'll notice these include a blue link to the content or the document in which this acronym was mined. So if a user isn't quite sure if that's the right acronym, they can follow through, see that document, and understand why we made that connection. When we expose an acronym like this, we actually understand the underlying ACLs on the document itself. So a user will never be shown an acronym that was mined out of a document that they don't have access for. Now I want to tell you about one of the most exciting features we're working on here in Microsoft Search in partnership with Project Turing. Project Turing is about understanding the semantic meaning of the query and the content itself. So rather than rely on full text exact string matching, we can actually match on the meaning or the intent of the user. So in this case, the user has searched for what's the employee learning budget? And we've got a nice answer here that answers their question. But learning actually isn't in the answer or in the document itself. But as we understand the content and we can map that back to the query itself, we can match semantically, again, helping the user find what they're looking for, even if they didn't phrase the query exactly correct. Now, let's take that one step further and take it right into the Word experience. So what you're seeing here is a traditional Word document being authored. And on the right-hand side, we've got our search experience. Now I can issue those same natural language queries. In this case, how many participants were in the phase 2 focus group? Now, what you'll notice is we've pulled out the answer, as you would expect, and we've also been able to map that back to the specific place in the document. Now let's talk about the bookmark answer, which has got to be the simplest, biggest bang for the buck step that you can do to improve search within your organization. It allows you to take authoritative content, associate it with a set of keywords, and ensure that when users search for those keywords, they're getting that bookmark link right at the top of their search experience, making it even easier for you to connect queries with the content that you want your employees to find. Let's take it 2 examples. So on the left here, we have Outlook Mobile showing the Contoso Benefits Home bookmark. And on the right-hand side, in the new Teams experience, we're showing bookmarks to the time and attendance tool. So these are 2 great examples where an organization can ensure that the authoritative source is going to pop when the user search for certain keywords. One of the things we've started to do in Microsoft Search is really break down those walls between the different workloads. We know that users aren't compartmentalized in how they think about going across their day, and Microsoft Search shouldn't be either. Some experiences are great for finding files, SharePoint, for example. But what about within Outlook or Teams? These are also experiences where you might need to find the file that somebody shared with you or the file that you're working on so you can share it with somebody else. The 2 examples here show what this looks like within the context of Outlook Mobile and Outlook on the web. Again, using that familiar answers experience at the top of the search result, making it easier for the user to find the item they're looking for. Now, many of us have calendars that are wall-to-wall meetings on top of meetings. But we know that the calendar is a great way to know where we're going and know where we've been. So let's see if we can use Microsoft Search to make it easier to find meetings. And within the search experience, you'll notice a microphone at the top right. If I click that, I can issue a natural language query to find the meeting I had in mind. When is the mobile working group meeting? And right there, it found the meeting I have coming up on Thursday. Now let's try that with a person instead. When is my next meeting with Adele? Finds out I have a meeting with her in October. Now this is great because it found my next meeting with a person, understanding any of the recurrence patterns that may exist under the covers. So this could have been a monthly, it could have been a bi-monthly, and the system understands what the next instance of that meeting is. Now, let's see if we can use that to go back in time. When was my last meeting with Lynn? And again, it finds the meeting I had with Lynn last week. Within an organization, people have skills, they have domain expertise, they're experts. You and I may know that, but the system doesn't know that. And if I don't know who that person is, but I know the topic itself, can Microsoft Search actually connect me with that person? Well, that's exactly what Who Knows What does. It mines activity under the covers and understands who's authoring what kind of content and what expertise that may be telling us about the person. So Who Knows What comes to life in search simply through asking the system. In this case, who knows about search? And you'll see on the left-hand side, Teams Mobile gives us a great set of people suggestions that's actually powered through signal and relevance that we think these people are, in fact, experts about search. Similarly, the screenshot here from Bing shows who knows about tea. Again, making those connections based on document and activities on top of that document. On the other hand, maybe we know exactly who the person is, and we want to use that to get to content. We want to see what they're working on, who they're collaborating with, maybe documents that they're adding revisions to. And so we've introduced something called people-centric search. And this works, as I said, with documents and something like SharePoint, but it also works in a place like Outlook for email. So you'll see here at the top, we've actually put a little person pill in the query box, and that allows the user to know that this entire search experience is filtered to just that person. Top Authors is a new feature that allows us to connect query results with authors who have contributed to that data set. So in this case, the user has searched for Ship Room, and we see the most relevant content across the organization presented here on the top page. much as you would expect. On the right-hand side, you're seeing a set of people suggestion. And what that's telling you is that these authors were the best authors given this result set. So from query to query, we're actually telling you who the people are contributing to the content that's showing up there, allowing you to make connections with people that you didn't even know existed within your company. Let's look at that feature in a little bit more detail. So I'm going to go find content that Nestor's been working on. So I can simply type his name into the search box, and you'll see we get a person card at the top. This has been in Microsoft Search for a little while, and it shows that we have a high confidence answer that we think Nestor actually maps to a person in the organization based on my relationship to him. This seems like a pretty good suggestion. You'll see all the content below is related, but it's not exactly filtered to what Nestor's been working on. That's really what I wanted. So I can go back into the search box and pick Nestor out of the dropdown. And then you'll see a slightly different layout. We still have this person card, but we moved it off to the side. And you'll notice all of the main content is filtered to content that Nestor has been working on. Maybe he's modified it, maybe he's created it. You also notice at the top here, we have that person pill. And the person pill indicates to the user that this entire search result set is being filtered to Nestor. And I can go ahead and add additional content there if I wanted to search for something. People search is covered in more detail in this session, so please check it out. Now let's turn our attention to finding everything, no matter where it exists. I'm going to highlight some of the ways that Microsoft is bringing more content into the experiences that you're using today. Let's take a look. Microsoft Graph Connectors allows you to bring content into Microsoft, no matter where it exists. Could be in a cloud service provider, maybe it's in a legacy on-prem file share. But either way, Graph Connectors allows you to bring that data into the familiar productivity apps that you're already using today. In this example, we've configured a connector to bring in a wiki so that it can surface in SharePoint. So alongside the SharePoint content that's already there today, you see this Contoso wiki, and the admin has control over how those verticals show up and what connectors they want to bring in. There's a lot more to learn about Microsoft Graph Connectors, so be sure to check out this session. If you're a diehard Power BI user, you probably know exactly what reports you need, what dashboards you want, and where they are. But if you only use Power BI infrequently, you may not remember where that report is, but you do know that Microsoft Search has a promise of finding content. So using SharePoint, Office.com, or even Bing.com, you can search for Power BI results, and we'll bring those right back into the search experience that you're already using. And then from there, search for the report you want, click on it, and it'll take you into the Power BI experience. In a normal day, you may start out in Outlook, sending and receiving emails. You might switch to Teams for a quick chat, and there might be an organizational-wide posting on Yammer. But a few weeks later, you might not remember where any of that content exists, just that it exists. So by creating a new conversations experience within Microsoft Search, we're able to bring that content alongside the additional content that already lives in Microsoft Search, making it easy to find that content, even if you don't remember whether it was in Yammer or in Teams. And finally, we built a new, rich multimedia search that allows users to find content based not only on the file and the metadata, but computer-extracted tags to make it even easier. Over here in SharePoint, I've done a search for Mark 8, and you see the default search experience. You'll also notice on the top here, we now have a vertical called Images. And if I click on that, you see that rich, beautiful multimedia grid I referenced. Now, the blue image here has clearly matched Mark 8 from the file name, and these other screenshots matched Mark 8 on some of the on-item metadata. But what if I wanted to search for something that wasn't part of the item, something that required computer vision to extract? If I type Office, you get to see a very different set of result sets. In this case, Office doesn't exist on any of the metadata itself, but was extracted through computer vision to identify the most likely tags of what is in the picture. Now let's shift gears and talk about how to make Microsoft Search truly yours through customization and extensibility. Almost everything you've seen so far just works out of the box. Your users get it for you on day one. But we know that to truly understand how you and your business work, you may have to tweak it a little bit. And so there's multiple ways that you can really adapt Microsoft Search to work best for your organization. Now, some of this can be done through simple UX-based configuration, and some of it is a little more extensive coding and development. Let's dig into both of those. We think about Microsoft Search as a partnership between us and you, the search admin. We know that making search successful in your organization depends on the users, the content, and your business processes. Together, we can make this successful. One of the ways is through our tenant analytics portal. So this is a great option that allows you to see what's happening in your organization based on how users are using search. So it allows us to see what search trends are happening. It allows us to even understand where searches are failing and where users are not finding what they're looking for. Through the Microsoft Search Tenant Analytics dashboard, we can help you see what search activity is happening within your organization and steps you can take to fix it. For example, you can look at popular queries and make sure that you have bookmarks and acronyms that match. You can look at no result queries or queries that were abandoned and figure out if you need additional authoritative content created that you can then link back to the user. And you can look at query trends to discover sentiment changes or other patterns happening across your organization. For many organizations, Microsoft Search works great out of the box. For some organizations, however, they may wish that Microsoft Search understood their internal business processes just a little bit better. So you can create custom verticals or edit out-of-the-box verticals, again, creating exactly the business flow that your users expect. We also allow you to modify the schema. So if you need an additional property added, for example, a cost center, you can extend the schema and then search can be built on top of that, bringing in new filters and refiners that honor those additional schema properties. You've seen how you can manage the content that you can bring into Microsoft Search through Graph Connectors. We've talked about how you can manage the schema, how you can add, remove verticals, how you can create refiners and filters that work exactly the way your business works. The last piece of that is to actually change the way the results look themselves. Through the use of adaptive cards and result templates, you can control how these items actually show up on the search experience. In the beginning, this applies to connectors, and coming soon, we'll have support for full SharePoint content as well. Here we are in the Microsoft Search Admin Center. I'm on the Customization tab, and you can see I've selected result types. Here are some existing result types in my organization. We're going to pick one to start with. Now you'll notice that these result types are all backed by a JSON definition, but that's not super user-friendly. By clicking Layout Designer, it takes me into a catalog of different result types that I can use within my organization. Now, we have a whole bunch of ones out of the box that you can start with, and then we also have a blank template at the end if you know exactly what you're looking for. So let's pick this one here. Looks pretty good. I can go ahead and click Get Started, and it takes me into the Layout Editor. And from here, I can start to create exactly the visualization I want. On the left-hand side, you'll see a set of UX containers, and then on the right-hand side, you'll see configuration options for those containers. So let's pick a image, and I can just drag an image right into the result type. And then you see on the right-hand side is the data binding options to actually decide how that property will get populated when the search result gets rendered. Pretty easy. Now, if you're ready to roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, you can truly harness the power of Microsoft Search. Through our Microsoft Graph APIs, you can get access to the same search capabilities that we offer through our first-party experiences. Not all those capabilities exist today, so be sure to check out the Microsoft Graph roadmap to understand when the search capabilities you're looking for are coming. There's so much you can do to customize search for your organization, so be sure to check out these sessions to learn more. So we've only shown you a tiny peek of what Microsoft Search can do for you today and what's coming soon. We want to leave you with a little bit of a teaser of the things that we're working on over the next year, and we hope you're as excited with it as we are. We had a great time telling you about everything we've been working on with Microsoft Search. Thank you for taking the time to hear all about it. We hope that Microsoft Search is helping you find knowledge and expertise across your organization and beyond, helping you be more productive and saving you time. Thanks.